All right, guys, it's Troy and Dale here from Hard Rock Rewind. Thanks again for tuning in to another reaction video. We just previously reacted to the performance of Changes at the VMAs, MTV VMAs by Youngblood, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, and Nuno Bettencourt. Now, this video, we're going to be reviewing it, going to be giving all our thoughts and what we think about it. Dale, I'm gonna you seem like you have a lot to say, man. We're going to start with you, brother. Let's go.
I don't know, man. I just, that initial performance, that Villa Park performance, that back to the beginning performance, it was a caught lightning in a bottle. Do you know what I mean? It was, I don't know, that
Absolutely.
was an iconic performance.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, I don't know, this VMAs performance is not that. And I feel like they're just trying to, they want lightning to strike twice, you know, and for my money, I feel like it fell short, and I don't feel like it fell a little short. I feel like it fell a lot short. And I wouldn't put it necessarily down to the backing band. So Nuno, Kevin Figueiredo, keyboard player, bass player. I think those guys held it down. I think Nuno was just Nuno and killed it, you know, like Nuno does.
Yeah.
And I even think Youngblood performed well. But again, I think the VMAs being the type of environment that it is, it's a pretty vacuous kind of image-driven, heavily marketed kind of, you know, awards, loosely kind of attribute that word to this award show. And I just don't think the audience that was there would have appreciated this, even if it had been phenomenal, which it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I just think the type of people you Sabrina Carpenters, your Ariana Grandes, the type of people that were there aren't the type of people that would appreciate something like this anyway. So I don't know why this was pitched to be there. That there could have been some type of a tribute to Ozzy, and it probably didn't need to be this performance, to be honest.
Are you saying across the board, the whole performance, or just Changes?
No, man. Like, I just think the entire performance. I just think it fell short. There was something lacking. I don't know what it was. It just felt a bit contrived. Whereas the single performance of Changes, when, you know, like the similar group got together, it didn't feel that. It felt like, hey, man, like we've come together. We've had very limited rehearsals. We're just going to throw it out there and see what happens. You could just tell by the way he performed. And then by the way the song was finished, how he exited the stage, that was just like, it was just a completely different vibe. And that audience was there for Ozzy specifically. So the whole energy, the whole vibe was different. You know, like there are cut shots to the crowd in this, like in this clip. And I'm like, none of these people know these songs. Like none of these people know half of these artists. Like Joe Perry's out there.
Girls.
Man, I don't know if Joe Perry's leaning on Steve Tyler because he's about to fall over and he can't fucking stand up. Like I don't even know why Joe Perry's there, personally, to be honest. Like I'm like, not a knock on Joe Perry, but you've got Nuno Bettencourt there. I honestly, like, I don't know why Joe Perry's there. Look, to be honest, I don't necessarily know why Steven Tyler's there either, to be honest. I feel like it was thrown together for the sake of doing something like that. And I feel like the intention behind it is probably misguided. And I think as a result, it kind of fell short. Yeah, you know, there were moments where I thought it was, you know, Nuno ripping the Crazy Train solo, and even just the start of the riff, you know, like Nuno doing that kind of F sharp to C sharp to D riff, and the flames are going off, and, you know, starts off in the crowd, gets on the stage, and man, like, you know, the vibe seemed cool, and then I don't know, it just shifted at some point, and then the more it cut to the crowd, the more the vocal performances towards the end I felt were just not it, to be honest, if I'm being honest. So yeah, man, look, I really, really, really wanted to love this, you know.
Yeah.
I really wanted to love it because it's Nuno, and I'm a massive Youngblood fan now all of a sudden. And so I'm like, yeah, this is going to be sick, man. Like, it's going to, I cannot wait. And it's going to be a medley. So I'm like, fuck, what does that look like? Like, what songs are they going to do? You know, for my money, and this is not a knock on Nuno, but you're doing something like this, you've got to get Zakk Wylde for this.
Yeah.
Like, why is Zakk Wylde not part of this?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's true.
Like, Zakk Wylde was actually Ozzy Osbourne's guitar player.
Yeah.
Zakk Wylde was actually the guy that laid the tracks down from Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Yeah.
Like, Zakk Wylde was actually the guitar player who played with Ozzy for his final performance.
Yeah.
Why would you not approach Zakk to do this? Like, it's just,
yeah.
And again, it's like, it's not a knock on Nuno. Like, I love Nuno. I love Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
I think they're both monsters. Like those guys are like they have a really good relationship. But like, why wouldn't you get Zakk for this? Have Nuno on there and get Zakk Wylde up with Steve Tyler.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, for me, it just felt just the vibe of it felt just off. It just felt a bit kind of forced to me. I don't know. Like, what did you take from it? Like, obviously, I'm approaching it with a certain lens that you may have seen it in a completely different light. I have no idea.
No, it's funny. It's funny you say that. Well, I'd only seen this actually happen. I think you mentioned it this morning, and I got another message from another friend saying, "Have you seen this? This is just, this happened earlier." So that was my first time watching it, and so I had no idea. But what you just said then, I think you're actually spot on, man. I think what happened at Birmingham Villa Park was, to coin your phrase, they caught lightning in a bottle. It was amazing. It's one of those things. It's like that was a one of a kind performance. It's stuck in everyone's. People will talk about that performance for ages, and now it's like, let's try and recreate that again for TV at an MTV award night. And you're right. Like, credit to Youngblood. I still thought he sounded pretty good. He sung, pretty much on par like he did with. But Nuno, Nuno's faultless, But I think even probably for Youngblood to even sort of draw that sort of emotion to try and recreate what he did at Birmingham would have been hard. He did a great job on that, but I still think you're right, man. I don't know why they would have tried to do that. Obviously, completely different people. Maybe Youngblood's management, who knows, maybe wanted to do it, or maybe you got to do it. You're breaking into America now, like this is going to make you massive. But you're right, like and you're right. You got 15-year-old girls in the crowd screaming at Youngblood who have never heard any of these tracks before, and they're all like, you can see the camera when they pan to it, they're like, and you can just imagine the sign behind the camera going, smile, clap, like it.
Yeah.
So, no, I think you're right, man. I don't know why they would have done it. And, not knocking Steven Tyler or Joe Perry, but I love Aerosmith, but they weren't a part of these songs. As you said, like, why not have, if they're going to do it, why not have Zakk there to do it? Why not have, I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess, look, in a positive and a takeaway for me, this really certifies Nuno as an absolute chameleon of a guitar player. In his own right,
100%.
He has his own style and is amazing. But just watching that and some other performances since Birmingham, dude, that guy can mimic. Like, no, this is just me. But when he did that Crazy Train solo, dude, if I shut my eyes, that literally sounded like lost my words. Randy Rhoads. That literally, the first part before he started going into some different part, the first part sounded note for note Randy Rhoads, man. Like, legit style, vibrato, like everything. And that guy is just a phenomenal guitar player. He's just amazing. Credit to him, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, look, for me, again, it's there may have been a couple of little clanger notes in there or whatever, but the overarching performance was phenomenal. He's kind of stepped in, he's having to play these songs again. He's probably been given minimal amount of time to kind of learn this stuff. Look, he is who he is, man. He's it's freaking Nuno Bettencourt. You know what I mean? It's he's the guy that was in Bill and Ted's ripping the Play With Me guitar solo. That's Nuno, right? So what a legend. Look, and look, it's not all negative from my side. Look, I know I started off negatively, but it's it was performed live.
Yeah.
This show is notorious, especially this year. This show is notorious for people getting up there and miming and lip syncing, singing to their own vocal tracks perhaps, but the vocal tracks down in the mix, and they're kind of singing to their own track to kind of fill it out and to kind of help them pitch. There was none of that with this. Yes, they had in-ears and so forth, but because they're probably playing to a click, but it was all performed live. Like those guitar parts were performed live. Youngblood's vocals were performed live. Even Steven Tyler's parts, unfortunately, were performed live. And but it was all live, good, bad, awesome, crappy, like whatever it was. At least it was live.
Absolutely.
And so for that, like that's like massive hats off to these guys. They were probably approached to do it in a more produced way, and may have said, you know what, no, we're not doing it that way. That's not how Ozzy would have done it, or that's just not how we do it. And so, we are doing it that way. And to kind of go back to your other point, but like Youngblood was launched just at the musical stardom stratosphere of that performance. Like he literally blew up off that Villa Park Back to the Beginning Changes performance. Like it was, that's a Freddie Mercury moment. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And to kind of think that you can back that up so close to having had something like that is just ludicrous. Like I just don't know what whoever was responsible for it. I have no idea what they were thinking, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that before, but you're absolutely right, man. At Birmingham, as you said, like you had a stadium full of fans who just ate it up. But here you've got a bunch of, tweenies like clapping and just having, no idea.
But not just that, it's like, and look, not to knock on these artists, but you've got your Sabrina Carpenter types, your Ariana Grandes. Like these are people that are potentially at these music awards as well. Not Pete Diddy's, but, Pete Diddy could make it. But other artists who could not give two craps about Ozzy Osbourne. Probably don't even know the people that are on the stage. I don't know, man. It's just it was the wrong environment for something like that. Personally, I think.
Just quickly to finish up, I reckon. Just going back to Youngblood though, he's obviously touring the States at the moment. He's done this. I mean, and look, vocally he sounded great. Like he was pretty much on par. Obviously, he can't recreate what he did, but sound wise, he still sounded fantastic. Like for his style. Man, where do you see the trajectory of this dude going now after being on the VMAs performing now, in America?
Look, to be honest, hopefully the sky's the limit for him. Like I'm not one of these people who are like, who's this guy who's trying to steal Ozzy's spot? Like Ozzy never anointed him like the next guy or whatever. Like all that kind of crap that you see online. Like it's not about that. It's about a guy he's been doing it all his life. He grew up in a guitar store. His dad owned a music store. He grew up around music his whole life. He's trying to make a go of something in the music industry. He's had success. He's been called an industry plant. He's kind of, he released his new album, which I think is an actual, it's going to potentially over time be one of these iconic rock albums, perhaps, in Idols. And and then he just happened to perform, at a farewell concert for somebody who he admired greatly, who actually also admired him as well. And it just turned out that blew him up massive. And now he's touring the States. And, you break America, you basically break the world, right?
That's it. Absolutely.
For me, look, I hope he achieves everything that he sets out to achieve. I get a real genuine vibe from the guy. There's something endearing about him. And he just seems pretty kind of, pretty stripped back and pretty raw with everything, the way he talks, the way he kind of opens up about things in general, life, music. You need more people like that in this industry. Like I said earlier, like the industry and these type of award shows are pretty vacuous and hollow. Totally. And, when you got genuine people in there, like you kind of root for those guys, right? Like you want those people to be successful. So yeah, man, like hopefully he kills it. I think his American tour is basically sold out end to end. So, for this leg of his American run, it's pretty much done and dusted. Can only get better from there. But hopefully this kind of helps his album, take off there as well. But Yeah, and hats off to him. You know, he's kind of doing what's needed and asked of him, and he's doing it well. And you know, hopefully he stays the course, and you can kind of see it through to the end. And yeah, like all the success to the guy. I think he deserves it.
Awesome, man. Great, awesome thoughts, man. Awesome, guys. Let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts about this performance? Was it a thumbs up, thumbs down? Should they have done this song? Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you're loving what we're doing, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you on board. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We're getting heaps of subscribers at the moment. We really, really appreciate it. And guys, we will catch you on the next video. Thank you.
See you guys.